Hey everyone, welcome back to Series 3. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you consider yourself a good law-abiding driver? You stick to the speed limit, you stop at the red lights, and you always use your turn signals, right? Well, think again. In the United States, traffic laws aren't just about speed limits and stop signs. Some rules hidden deep inside the state legal books are so bizarre, so completely ridiculous, that you might be breaking them right now without even realizing it. We are talking about laws involving everything from parking circus animals to forced facial expressions. So, buckle up your seatbelts. Let's dive straight into Series 3, the weirdest American driving laws that are actually 100% real. The Braveheart drivers of Alabama. First stop on our road trip is Alabama. Let's look at Code of Alabama Section 32-5A. In this state, it is strictly, absolutely illegal to drive a motor vehicle while blindfolded. Now, take a second to let that sink in. Who on earth needs a written law to tell them not to cover their eyes while operating a 2-ton piece of heavy machinery at 60 miles per hour? You'd think common sense would handle this, right? Well, there is a historical reason for this madness. Back in the early 20th century, during the 1920s and 30s, daredevils and stunt drivers became obsessed with publicity stunts. Street performers would literally blindfold themselves with thick cloth and drive down busy city streets just to prove how skilled they were or to sell tickets to a local circus. It became a dangerous trend, causing crashes and terrifying pedestrians. The government finally had to step in and say, okay, enough is enough. So, if you're in Alabama and planning to practice your Jedi mind tricks behind the wheel, sorry, keep your eyes wide open, daredevils. The parking meter elephant in Florida. Next, we are heading down south to sunny Florida, the land of sunshine, beaches, and very expensive elephant parking. Yes, you heard that right. According to Florida state law, if you happen to ride your pet elephant to the local grocery store or mall and you decide to tie it to a public parking meter, guess what? You legally must pay the exact same parking fee as a regular passenger vehicle. No discounts, no free passes for wildlife. This law sounds like a joke, but it's a real relic from the old days when traveling circuses used Florida as their winter headquarters. Circus performers would literally park their elephants on the streets while they went into shops, which caused massive traffic jams, blocked pathways, and left the city meters completely empty of coins. The city council got tired of losing money, so they passed this rule. So remember, if you're traveling through Florida with Jumbo, make sure you carry some spare quarters because there is no free parking for elephants. The no frowning law of New Jersey. Now let's talk about emotional control, because in New Jersey, you better put on a happy face when you get pulled over. In this state, it is technically illegal to frown, grimace, roll your eyes, or make any kind of unpleasant, grumpy face at a police officer while they are issuing you a traffic ticket. Imagine getting caught speeding, knowing you're about to lose $200 and having to look at the officer with a giant, cheerful smile. It sounds like a scene from a dystopian movie. This law was originally drafted decades ago to prevent road rage and promote extreme politeness toward law enforcement officers. The state lawmakers thought that if you forced people to look pleasant, it would stop arguments from escalating into fights. Today, it's rarely enforced, but technically, the law is still right there on the books. It is the ultimate example of toxic positivity. So, if you ever get caught speeding in New Jersey, take a deep breath, swallow your anger, and smile like you just won the lottery. The disaster of Minnesota's muddy tires. Moving up north to Minnesota, where the state government takes cleanliness very, very seriously. According to Minnesota state transportation laws, driving a truck, tractor, or car with muddy tires that deposits dirt, mud, or muck onto a public highway is considered a public nuisance and a finable offense. You can't just drive out of a dirty field and carry that mess onto the smooth asphalt. This law actually makes a lot of practical sense when you look at Minnesota's history. During the heavy spring melting season, the ground turns into a massive swamp. When farmers drove giant tractors covered in thick mud onto the main highways, that mud would fall off, freeze, or turn the highway into an incredibly slippery, muddy ice rink, causing deadly accidents for regular cars. So, to protect everyone, the state made it the driver's responsibility to clean up. If your tires are a messy disaster, you better pull out a brush and clean them before hitting the main road, or the judge will make you clean up your act in court. America's roads are full of history, surprises, and apparently some very specific, highly entertaining rules. Which of these real laws did you find the most ridiculous? Would you survive a road trip through these states without getting arrested? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe for more Series 3 facts, and share this video with your favorite road trip buddy. Drive safe, stay legal, and remember, keep your eyes wide open and your smile on. See you in the next episode.